All right, hey, what's up? My name is Brent. I'm the jazz musician behind LearnJazzStandards.com, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about how you can train your ears to hear any chord. Now, one of the things we come across as musicians, or jazz musicians specifically, is being able to recognize what different chords sound like, whether it's a major seventh chord or a dominant seventh chord or a dominant 7 flat 9, being able to hear what that sounds like, not only so that we can learn tunes, but also so we can outline these chords in our solos and our jazz improvisation. So it's really important to train our ears to be able to recognize chords. So today I'm going to show you how I do that, how I train my ears and how I train my students' ears to be able to hear chords better. Now, I will want to say that if you haven't checked out our other video about training your ears to hear intervals, I would suggest that you do that because intervals are definitely a foundational building block to being able to hear chords and recognize those different qualities and of course be able to sing those chords as well. So if you haven't, maybe check out that video as well. All right, so I'm going to jump behind my computer, show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's do this.
All right, I'm here behind the computer here, and what you're looking at right now is a lesson within a module of our ear training course, How to Play What You Hear. It's a course that helps you learn how to hear intervals, chords, chord progressions, and finally translate what you hear to your instrument. Now, we're going to use this lesson just for teaching purposes, just to get through this material, and so I can show you how I train myself and how I train my students to hear chords by ear from scratch, okay? So now, if you look at what we're looking at here, it's action 1, major and minor triads. And so basically, we're just starting very small. And if you look at this right-hand column here, I batch everything into small little batches. It's important that you don't try to bite off more than you can chew. At the end of the day, you want to be able to hear major triads, minor triads, augmented triads, diminished triads. Those are your basic 3-note chords there that you want to know how to hear. And then you want to do 7th chords, majors, dominant 7ths, minor 7ths, half diminished, and fully diminished. And then after that, if you want to go further, you can hear extensions like flat 9s and sharp 9s, but we're not going to go over all that today. I'm just going to show you these basic 3 steps that are really important. So let's take a look at major triads to start with. Now, first of all, it's important that we know what makes up a major triad. Do you know what it is? In case you don't, the formula is right here. It's root, 3rd, 5th. So a concert C major triad would be C, E, G, okay? Now, here's where the first step comes in, is just recognizing the chord. So step number 1 is recognize. Now, that sounds simple, but the idea behind it is that you're simply able to hear the chord being played and know immediately, put a name to it, that it is a major triad. So that's the very first starting point. So let's hear what a major triad sounds like. Okay, I'm sure you've heard that before. Let's listen to it one more time. Now, a lot of people associate this chord with happy. If there's emotions that help you with this stuff, that's totally fine. But in and of itself, if you just didn't know this was a major triad, it might be hard for you to identify it. So, of course, when you're trying to recognize it, you could just drill it and burn it into your brain by listening to it over and over and over again and comparing and contrasting it to other chords. But here's where steps 2 and 3 are really important to me, okay? Really important. Let's move down to it. The next step here is to be able to sing a major triad arpeggio. Now, what's an arpeggio? That's basically where you're separating out the chord tones. So it's not played as a chord. Now, each note, each chord tone is played separately. So this is really important. And singing in general and ear training, I believe, is really important. Or if you're not a great singer, you can whistle, you can hum. Doesn't really matter. It's all accomplishing the same thing. And what it accomplishes is it helps you be able to reproduce the pitch that you're hearing, which ensures that you actually know it, that you actually have internalized it. You can really hear it. It's not like you're just hearing it and you're like, I think that's a major triad. You could recreate that if you wanted to by being able to sing it. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Here I have this cool little track. It's called the Sing Major Triad Arpeggio track. And what's gonna happen is there's gonna be a piano that plays a note. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to sing, starting from that note, a major arpeggio going up the chord, okay? So, whoops. The track started a little further ahead. All right, here it is. Da, da, da. Okay, so I sang it from the root note up. Let's try it again. Da, da, da. Okay, so I'm able to hear those tones in my head starting from that root note because I know that it's root, 3rd, 5th, is a minor triad. Now, if you want to break it down even further, if you're just like, well, I don't even know how to start from a note and sing a major triad up, well, that's where it comes back to knowing your intervals. And I've come out with another video training you on how to learn intervals. And intervals are the basic building blocks for really, truly hearing the basic fundamentals of ear training. Okay, so I do suggest you go back to that video if you're completely new with intervals. But one way you can look at it if you want is, what is the relationship between the root and the third? Da, 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 da. Well, it's a major third, okay? Da, da. And I can hear what a major third interval sounds like in my head. So automatically I can sing the first two notes. Da, da. Okay, now what's the relationship between the root and the fifth? Well, it's a perfect fifth. So can I sing it? Da, 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 da. I can, because I hear that interval in my head. I know that. So then I could sing the whole thing. Da, da, da. Or if we want to break it down even further, we could take that relationship between the third and the fifth. What's that relationship? So first the root and the third. Da, da. Okay, now here's the third and the fifth. Da, da. Do you know what interval that is? Da, da. Da, da. That's a minor third interval. So essentially, a major triad is a major third with a minor third stacked on top of it. And that's what makes up a major triad. And so you can think of that theoretically, just the notes on the page, or in your ear like I just did. I can hear all those sounds. Therefore, I can sing the arpeggio of a major triad. Okay, that's step number 2. Let's move on to step number 3. I love this step. This is really fun stuff. So check this out. The next step is to be able to sing the chord tones. Okay, sing the chord tones. What do I mean by that? I mean, if I heard the chord being played, like a major triad being played, and someone asked me to sing the fifth, I could sing that note. Or if someone asked me to sing the third, I could sing it. Or the root, I could sing it. So you hear a chord, you're asked to sing a certain note, and you can sing that note, okay? So essentially what's happening here is I can pick out those chord tones even as the whole chord is being played, which means that I've got some really keen ears. I'm really listening closely and really digging deeper into my ear training. So I'll show you what I'm talking about by using these different tracks here. Let's not make the same mistake as last time. Okay, so what's essentially going to happen in this next track is it's going to ask me to sing the root of a major triad, and then it's going to play the triad, and then I'm going to sing the root. Okay, so let's try this.
Sing the root.
Do. Okay, I got it. I sang it octave lower, but I still got it. I got the root, right? And let me also say, you don't have to sing perfectly. This isn't about singing great. It's not about being a great singer. You could whistle, hum, like I said. The idea is that you're at least hitting the pitch. If you're a little flat or sharp, it's okay. I mean, everybody with perfect pitch isn't going to love you, but that's okay. It's just about hitting those notes and making sure you're hitting the right chord tone, okay, and not hitting one above or one below, okay? So let's do the next one. Sing the third of a major triad.
Sing the third.
Da. Awesome, I got it, right? So what I'm doing is I'm listening for the bass note, because I happen to know that these chords are built from the root up. So that means they're stacked root, third, fifth. So I know that the root is the bass note. So I'm cueing my ears into that bass note, listening really closely, and then able to sing that interval up from there. So you see how important intervals are, right? Let's do the next one. Sing the fifth.
Sing the fifth.
Da. Got it. Okay, so I sang the fifth. Okay, let's move on to another one. Okay, so you know the steps now. First step is recognize. Second step is sing the arpeggio. Third step is sing the chord tones. So let's go through minor triads really quick. Here's what it sounds like. You probably heard that before, right? And again, people associate minor with sad sometimes. If that helps you, sure. So that's root, flat 3, fifth. So the only difference between a major and a minor is that flat 3, okay? So now sing a minor triad arpeggio. Do, do, da, do, do, da. Yeah, pretty much got it, right? So that was the triad, the arpeggio right there. Now let's do sing the chord tones. So start with the root.
Sing the root.
Da. Okay, got it. Sing the flat third.
Sing the flat third.
Da. Okay, got it. Sing the fifth.
Sing the fifth.
Da. Sweet, I got it. Okay, cool. Do you see how that works? I mean, this is such great practice, guys. This is so awesome. Let's go on, just a little bit more, just to get a little bit more of the point here. Let's go to another lesson. Let's do major sevenths and dominant sevenths, just really quick here. So major seventh, obviously, we're just adding, on top of that major triad, we're adding the seventh tone to it. Okay, so here's what it sounds like. Cool. All right, now I'm going to sing the arpeggio. Da, 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 da. Sweet, I got it, right? I got that seventh on top. Okay, let's sing chord tones now. Let's just pick some out here. I'm going to do the third.
Sing the third.
Da. Sweet, got it. Third. Again, I'm listening for that bass note and then singing up there. Okay, let's do the seventh.
Sing the seventh.
Okay, got it. It's a little high for me. I could have sang it an octave lower. That's where whistling could have helped me out better there. But I got it, right? All right, that's all right. I look like a fool, but I got it. All right, let's move on to dominant seventh. So what's a dominant seventh? Well, the only difference between a major seventh and a dominant seventh is the flat seven, okay? Here's what it sounds like. Da, yep. I'll sing the arpeggio. Do, da, da, da. Do, do, da, da. Yep. Okay, cool. Let's just do one chord tone. Let's just do the fifth.
Sing the fifth.
Da. Woo. Got it. Okay. So those are my 3 steps for hearing chords. Now, obviously, you don't need to have, what we have in this course is we have quizzes. So, you get tracks to practice this stuff, and then you have quizzes that you actually can test to see if you can really hear all this stuff. But you don't have to have a course with all these fancy tracks in order to do this. If you want, for example, for just recognition, just have somebody play these chords for you and call out what they are. For arpeggios, you can play any note on your instrument and sing whatever kind of chord you want up from the root of that note that you played on your instrument. For hearing the chord tones, you could play for yourself or have somebody else play a chord and ask you to sing the fifth or the flat seven or the third or whatever it might be, so you can challenge your ear. So you can do this outside of a course or using these kinds of tracks. Okay, so those are my 3 steps for hearing chords by ear.
All right, so I hope that was helpful for you today. Now here's the question that I want you to answer today for me. What is your biggest challenge that you have with ear training? What's your biggest challenge you have with ear training? Feel free to leave a comment in the comments below. Let's start this discussion as a community together. And if you want to take your ear training to the next level, I actually do have a free handout for you today. It's our ultimate ear training blueprint and video series. So there's more videos of me talking a little further in depth about some of this stuff. So if you want to get that free PDF handout, go to learnjazzstandards.com/ear training and check that out there. Now, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, make sure you like our page on Facebook, and of course, make sure to join our jazz community. Sign up for our newsletter at learnjazzstandards.com/join. All right, I'm Brent, I'm signing off, and I'll see you out in the next video.